Hi, this is Cousin Russ. I want to follow up on a couple of short subject videos that I've done before on the shaky leaves. Uh, Dear Myrtle and I did a recent joint hangout on there, short subject video on shaky leaves and how I have learned a process that works for me for managing those shaky leaves. And we intentionally did not discuss how each of us would handle those shaky leaves in our own genealogy database. And that was because we both use two different uh, programs, which is fine. So I'm going to take it to the next step and show you what I do with one of those shaky leaves that I found online and that I'm going to uh, now bring into Family Tree Maker. So let me go over to uh, my Family Tree Maker. Let me get to the right place. And so I'm going to the Places workspace, or the Plan workspace, where I normally start these videos. And there is my planned workspace. Now, I have someone on that list that I picked up from my online hints from my ancestry member tree. And this is the person. And there's that shaky leaf, and I am going to click on the link that says 7 ancestry member trees. And there is the list of hints. And here is my Social Security Death Index record hint that I saw online. I'm going to select that, and I'm looking at the data down here at the bottom to make sure we're talking about the same person. Now, in the my database, he was born about 1920 in Pennsylvania, and I actually have a real birth date over here and a death date about 2009, and I actually have the actual death date over here. So this is my person. Now I have a program called Fast Capture, and what I want to do is I want to capture that data, and I want to save it. And this is what's on my screen, and I want to save it. And I'm not going to give it a file name. I'm just going to take the default file, because when I have it sorted where all of my images are, it's going to be sorted by most recent at the top. So I now have this image. And what I do from here is I capture some data on a piece of paper that goes with this hint that I got. I want to capture this last residence information and the year and the state where that Social Security Death Index record came from. I've written them on a piece of paper, and now I'm going to do a merge. So I'm clicking on the merge screen, and I'm comparing what I have versus what is going to come in from Ancestry, and it looks like it's the same person. I'm going to discard the duplicate because it has the same thing that I do, but it's going to keep the citation when it comes in that says I got this name from a different source. The birth information I have, this is preferred. I'm going to go and make the full date that I have, and I'll be able to infer Pennsylvania, I believe, in a few minutes. And the death, I'm also going to make the information that's coming in from Ancestry as the preferred death date because it's more complete. And I'm going to click next, and I'm going to ask it to merge now, which it is doing. And it's bringing the data from Ancestry and bringing it into Family Tree Maker. And I'm going to close this window because now I want to deal with this citation, because it's going to come in not in the evidence explained format that I want. So it's now in, and I'm going to go to the sources workspace. And I, from experience, know where that record is going to come in the sources workspace. it's going to come into this source, which says Social Security Death Index, but this is not in the template format. I want the data in the template format. The first thing I'm going to do is copy the data that came in and paste it down with a citation text, and it didn't do that, so let me fix that. Copy, paste, because what I'm going to do is change what's here, because this, the way it is now, will not come out in evidence explained format, and I'm not there yet. I'm just going to fill out this screen. Entry for Harold L. Housekeeper, and then the next thing I'm going to enter is the year that the Social Security number was issued. So it was before 1951, which it says right here and right here. So that's what I want. Then I want SS number. Now, this record did not contain the Social Security number. So what I have determined in my database, I'm going to put in square brackets, no SS number. And because what I will do is I will follow up with that later. But I know that in my citation, I'm going to put that there was not a Social Security number provided. And then I'm going to put access 16 October 2014. And I'm going to cut all of that, rest of that, because it's not important, because I already have it down here. And what's also down here is the issue state, and that's all I need, because I got everything else that I need right in here. The next thing I want to do is get rid of the citation text, and I want to get rid of the address link. Now, there's two reasons why I like to do the web merge. One is right here. There's a link that goes right back to that record. There's also a link where I can go back and look at it online. I'm not done yet. What I need to do, and there's a very specific reason for doing that. Look at this, all this stuff in the reference note. That is not evidence explained. So I'm going to click on media, and I'm now going to bring up that image, and I know that it's there. I'm going to bring up that screen capture that I got, and I have in my database all of these screen captures of Social Security Death Index records into a specific category called SSDI in my media folder. Okay. I want to mark that, but I'm not yet ready to mark that image or where I got it from. And the sequence of steps right here are very important. What I want to do is take this citation and put it into the template format. So I'm pulling down the right hand, the down arrow under the source title, and selecting the evidence explained template format for Social Security Death Index. This data came in, this data came in, none of my check marks are here. There's a link to the website, there's a link to view it online, and there is an evidence explained formatted citation. I'm going to right click on it, select all. I'm going to right click and copy. Now I'm going to go over to my media, and to the pencil that says media detail, I'm going to click on that, because what I want to do is put that citation right here. So I now have the full citation for this image, although it's just a screen capture for this particular kind of record. I know where I got it from and when. Now, This is for my information. When I put this tree online, I don't want this image here because it's for my information. So I'm going to mark it private. The next thing I want to do is make a caption for this record. And I have the format for all of these records is the full name that I have in my database, not necessarily what was on the citation, but in my database for this person. I haven't learned Harold's middle name yet. So I'm going to put his full name as I have it in my database, and then I'm going to put Social Security, death index. So this is for the caption, remembering that within Family Tree Maker, I can sort the media folder by file name or by caption. Now, if you look down here, this file name looks really crazy. Doesn't help me at all. I'm going to close this and say OK. And I'm going to right click on that image and I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to rename it to the format that I have established, SSDI dash surname underscore first name, no space, middle name. And whatever I have. Now keep in mind that I have a lot of hints of where that information is. It's right here. It's down here. So I know what that file name is. Okay, so I've messed around with the file and this image, so I know exactly what it is. Now let me see what damage I've done to my person. So I'm going to click on links and I'm going to double click on his name. And the first thing that I'm going to do when I get here is I'm going to select that record, that citation, and I want to click this second icon to the right under sources. It says copy citation, source citation. So that is now on my clipboard. Now, what I need to do now is fill out the data that I got from him on the record. And here's what I want to do. The first thing that I want to capture is the, let me do that again. I want to click on that and I'm going to type last for last known residence. This is a fact that I created for this purpose. So I'm going to click OK. So last name, the last known location I know for this person was Nottingham, Chester County, Pennsylvania. And what I saw on that record that I wrote down from that image that I did a screen capture of was I'm sorry, I've done this wrong. No, it's there. Last residence zip code, which I copied from that I wrote down, and I'm going to change that to 19. So I changed it to the last known zip code, and now I'm going to paste the citation so I knew where I got that from. Now I'm going to keep this one as this is okay. I'm going to let this be seen by anybody. It doesn't make any difference. And because what does last residence zip code really mean? Okay, I'm still not done. I want to capture the state of issue. This is another fact that I created. I'm going to select that. And what I got off of that record, it was be issued before 1951, and I just typed BEF space, and when I change out of the date space, it'll correct it to be what Family Tree Maker wants, and that's capital BEF space. And then I'm going to type in Pennsylvania, because that's all that the Social Security Death Index record said. It was issued before 1951 in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to cite it. So now there's something else that's missing, and I'm going to just bring up Social Security number. I already have any Social Security numbers that's private, but when I got that record, I did not see one. So I'm just going to type no social. So I typed in no Social Security number provided and cite it. Again, it's private, so all I'm going to see is I'm going to be the one that sees it. But I'm not done there, because since it didn't provide one, I want to put a task list for no SSN, and I have a category for SSN. So I now have a new task that says, if I want to, and if I have time, I will go find that Social Security number, and computers, there it is, it's caught up to me. So I have basically captured everything that was on that record that I have and entered it into my database, and I got one more step. I'm going to go into research notes and put 10, 16, 14, hint, because that's where I got it from, hint dash SSDI. So I now have documented where I got the information from. The information that I captured is in my file, and there's not much else to say. That's pretty much the steps that I take. There's some variables as you go along. Like if you don't see the last, I have a to-do list that lets me know if I did not get a last residence information, but I want to capture as much information off of that hint that I can. So that was a quick and dirty, well, not quick, but it's worthwhile. It's repeatable. There are variables, as I mentioned. The example that I picked, and I did not look at the example before I went after it. I did this live. I was doing it as part of my day's work. I didn't know what I was going to look at when I got there. But I gave you the options of what I use, and it has been working very successfully for me, and I've got some great information that I did not have before in my database. So have a great day. Thank you.